MakingStarWars.net.
Hello, Internet. I'm Jason DeWard from MakingStarWars.net, and today I'm joined by my buddy Azatru. How's it going, dude? And Rob is making pizza. He'll be on here pretty soon. I wasn't able to get pizza. I failed Rob. Don't tell him, but we'll let Rob enjoy his pizza today. That's what I'm saying. Let's let Rob. Oh no, here's Rob. Rob's here and he's got. Hey Rob, you got pizza?
Come on, man. I got a whole plate of pizza.
Damn,
what are you talking
good.
about? It's so fucking good, dude.
That looks good. I didn't get pizza. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot it was
You
pizza
forgot.
day.
Look, 8-year-old Jason smacks you right in the face, right?
I know.
I forgot about pizza.
Ninja Turtles hate me. No joke. I was like working almost all night. Woke up. I was like, oh, it's Santa show day. That's what I remembered. Thankfully, I remembered that. Did Santa show, and then I was like, and I forgot it was pizza day because I thought it was Thursday for half the day, half the morning, because it was just. But who am I to cry about that? As a true, you had to stay up all night, didn't you?
Yeah. I'm tired. I was really. I wasn't tired early this morning, but then when I first woke up, yeah, it was pretty bad. But it was worth it to see it. But at the same time, it kind of wasn't because, like, they didn't really say anything else. Like, they've just revealed the trailer, and there's not much else to go with it. So, which is a bit disappointing. I thought they'd have said a little bit more, but
yeah. But you got to see it with Al Pacino talking about his kids.
Oh yeah, it was just I was like, just get on with it. It's so boring, but.
On a side note, Bespin's all. I spoke to you earlier and thought it was Tuesday, and same thing pretty much happened when I was talking to you as well, Bespin. I was like, today's what's today, Tuesday, and then I thought it was. I thought you said you thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was Tuesday for a minute. It's been a big blur. I've been getting. I put out I did my Luthen story on. For not my Luthen story, but I did my here's my big rumor stuff. Now let's start sussing out the true stuff. Let's start getting what's accurate from these shows. And it's been a whirlwind. Lucasfilm, you're never gonna catch me. I'm too fast. You think I'm here? I'm there. You think I'm there? I'm here. No, now guess what? I'm back over there. Too bad. But anyways, the Fallen Order trailer came out last night. Me and my 8-year-old watched it. My 8-year-old, boy, was he happy. He immediately started reinstalling the game. He's ready to do another playthrough. And he's like, can I stay with you this weekend so we can play through it? And I'm like, shit. I mean, I'm happy, but I'm also like, man, do I really want to do a playthrough this weekend? But it looks like that's what I'm doing. So, yeah. So how did you feel about it, as a Drew? Like when you saw the trailer, did it knock you over? Was it what you expected? Was it more? Was it less? Was it what
I kind of was maybe expecting a little bit more focus on the technological side, because they're they keep mentioning how it's next generation. They even had Cameron keep talk about how, like, he's done interviews, how good it looks, how it's finally we've moved on to the next generation, things like that. And they didn't really mention it. They just showed us. Like, it's good that they actually showed us plenty of gameplay. And people have been complaining we can't really make much out. It wasn't a story trailer. It's a gameplay trailer. Like, they showed some bits of cutscenes, but it's not meant to tell us much because the focus is the gameplay. And that's, at the end of the day, it's a game, right? The gameplay comes first. They'll no doubt do a proper good story trailer maybe in January, as soon as that, because the game's out in March. But it does show. I think it showed us far more variety than I expected. But I am a bit disappointed they didn't sort of go into, like, show how the next generation system is, because you can see it visually, but at the same time, I'm more interested in, like, the frame rates, resolution, SSD performance, stuff like that. But still, I'm sure they'll reveal that. At least we haven't got to wait long.
Do you think there's a chance they didn't do it because they don't want to accentuate the fact that it's current gen only, and that like last gen's kind of getting left out? Is that a sore spot? Maybe not what they want to touch on right now, or
I don't know. I don't know because I've seen a lot of people still like I've been asked tons of times today, is it coming for PS4 or Xbox One? Why isn't it? That's ridiculous. Like, why are they doing it? And it should just work on the PS4. Most people don't seem to understand. And with Star Wars, it's like it's not the sort of game they're gonna be explaining this sort of stuff to. Like you'd expect that out of like more games that are like more PC focused. That this
Mhm.
audience, like just your general casual person who might only play like Jedi Fallen Order. They bought a console for that game. They're just a Star Wars fan. They like games. Well, they don't even like many games. They just like Star Wars games. But
Right.
I wish there was a little bit more technological wise, but it's whatever. I mean, it still looks good, but I do feel like there's something a little bit missing. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know. Like they mentioned ray tracing when they announced it. They haven't shown like they could have shown something in the like a splash screen because they showed some texture said with ray tracing 4K 60 frames per second right at the end, and then just showed like a shot and be like, okay, that's what we're getting.
Yeah. Yeah. I watching the trailer on YouTube on my television in the front room couldn't really I couldn't really get a clear sense of it being a next gen game or the current gen, but not a
Yeah.
last gen game. I
It
couldn't
was
really
in
see it.
4K. They uploaded the trailer in 4K 60, which they haven't done for any of the other EA Star Wars trailers, except for like Battlefront, but they weren't really gameplay, I don't think. So
Okay.
that's a good start. But yeah, I think it might also not just be it's not I think a lot of people are expecting the graphics to be far better, but everything seems way more dense. Like there's a lot more in the world than
Yeah.
before because
Okay.
in Fallen Order everything was like quite like just a tomb with stuff, whereas these are actual huge like towns it seems and stuff like that with plenty more stuff. It's more vast.
Okay.
Also, the animation work it looks a lot better. I can definitely tell that like the animation's definitely an improvement. But I've also noticed some flaws that should be ironed out by release. But it's like textures are appearing low resolution on some of the characters up close. Like I'm surprised they put that in the trailer, but maybe it's also a sign of it's real. This is all like
It's
none of it was
authentic.
CGI. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like straight from a recording of a PC of a version of the game that they finalized a few months ago. Because that's the thing. These trailers are made so far in advance. This build of the game could be 2, 3, 4 months. I remember the gameplay for Jedi Fallen Order. It was in June, but the actual build of the game was like I think at least 2, 3 months old. So, and the because like people complain the lightsaber core was just pure blue, and it was like, oh yeah, we've already changed that. But that was another story I heard. It was actually really hard to do. Like even though Battlefront perfected it, whatever reason, whatever systems they built for Fallen Order, it took them a long time to figure out how to do a proper lightsaber blade correctly. It was really causing headaches. That's why it was still like that in the big gameplay reveal for the game because they couldn't fix it in time.
My big question is if I leave my game on and then I go to bed and I pick it up and I just resume the next morning, will my start screen go?
Well,
Did you ever,
luckily, pretty much,
you ever have that? Because I had
with
it in both.
Battlefront, it happens.
I have it
I
with
think it,
Battlefront every time I do that, and I have it with Fallen Order every time if I just leave the game on
yeah.
and leave it
So
for like a time. Yeah,
it's
it's weird.
strange because they're the only two games it's happened to me on.
Mhm.
Because pretty much everything else is perfect. So
Is that like
I
a
don't know.
frostbite thing? Maybe is
Well,
that?
Fallen Order isn't on. I would have
It's
said it's
not.
Frostbite
Okay.
because Battlefield did that as well. Battlefield 1 and 5 did that for me.
Okay.
So I thought it was a Frostbite, but I feel like I have seen I played Fallen Order on my Xbox once, and it did happen. So yeah, I don't know.
The EA
That,
thing, at
yeah, it's
least.
strange. I don't
At
know.
least, yeah, it's the weirdest one. I kind of like it. I mean, it kind of makes me
It
laugh.
is
It doesn't
funny.
make
Like
me.
the
It
Battlefront,
doesn't make
it's
me
just set
mad.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not like
it's
I've been
just a
taken out
funny.
of the game because of this. I'm more like, ah, look at that guy. So it's okay. But let's open up bestbulletin.com and look at what he said and use it to like dig into the article a bit or into the game a bit more. See, did it pop up on the screen? Okay, so no, we got a guy
Shows
eating
the best.
pizza, which is good.
Oh,
No, you eat that pizza. You eat that pizza.
No, I'm with
Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Star Wars Jedi Survivor gameplay trailer released. Our game release is March 17th. which is I know this is nerdy, but I could be wrong, but I think that's the like Return of the Jedi Special Edition release date. I don't know why I know that. I think that's what it is. Star Wars Jedi Survivor has officially announced, or was officially announced back in May alongside a teaser trailer for the game. Since then, official news has been quiet. But 2 months ago, I exclusively reported, remember that, he did, that, excuse me, a brand new trailer would debut at this year's Game Awards. And a brand new gameplay trailer has just been unveiled at the event. And right here, we got Rob's favorite guy. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can.
Oh,
I'm gonna do it in.
it's Uncanny Johnny. Oh, Valley.
Oh,
I didn't mean
no.
to say that. Sorry.
Don't say
What?
that.
I really didn't mean that. That was just I was trying to think of Valley, and that's the first thing that popped out
Valley.
of my mouth. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It is. It is. I wonder what happens if I'm gonna try to play it really slow in 4K. I'm gonna turn the sound down. I'm gonna see if it like if this actually like works. Like, what do we get out of this? Let's see if it will.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
When the actor came out on stage at the Game Awards,
Yeah.
did he not come out and then step back the way like a animatronic figure would at Disneyland, like on Indiana Jones ride or something? He comes out, does a little swirl, and then steps back in. Did you not pick up on that?
California
No, I
Custis?
didn't. They should have done them at the start because they showed the back to tank. They had the whole back to tank there. Like, that was cool. And I was like, wait, he's going to turn up. And then they just pulled the curtain down and then brought him out at the end with no back to tank. I was like, okay, that's a bit strange.
Yeah.
They should put an animal in the back to tank. That would have been great.
BD needs to turn out that light. He's gonna get him caught. But so that's as long as your hair grows in a back to tank. So anybody who wants to start a fake rumor that Boba Fett grew his hair back in the back to tank, it's unlikely. The time allotted that he's had being daimyo that he could do that.
I like that
And
rumor.
then right here, like I said on Santa's show, this is where he says, "Anybody got a hand?" Yeah. So the Magna Guards. So it looks like, I mean, I don't know how early in the game this is, but it looks like it's not starting us back off with like no force powers. And then are we gonna be able to fly this ship? Do you think we're gonna be able to fly this ship, or is that just cinema?
That camera angle looks just like the 80 mission in Fallen Order, where you're just behind Cal in the cockpit. So it might be like a bit on rails, maybe, or it's just a cutscene.
Yeah, the one where Saw Gerrera is like, "Hey guys," on the window.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, it does look. I mean, looking at it even here on my crappy screen, it does look better.
I think they've sort of made the cutscenes look like they've sort of made the cutscenes closer to the gameplay closer to the cutscenes, because the cutscenes were far more high quality. So I wonder if they've tried to make it as seamless as possible, so it goes into from cutscene to gameplay pretty seamlessly.
Yeah.
So maybe they've maybe toned down the graphics a little bit in the cutscenes to make the game sort of fit in, so it's not like I think that might be a good way to do it though, because it seems it looks pretty together.
When you got a release on Xbox Series S, what are you gonna do?
I don't know.
What are you gonna do?
mean,
oh wow, Breath of the Wampa.
Yeah, right. I know. Is that creature behind there? Is that like if Boga and a Tauntaun made a baby? Did you see that thing? He was. So I'm assuming that these right here are like the bounty hunter encounters. Maybe. I'm being presumptuous.
Well, they're with the High Republic guy from the back to tank, so they're starting their own thing up. I think they own the battle droids. They've taken control of a Trade Federation core ship on whatever planet this is, and they're just like building their own army. So yeah, it's definitely gone in a completely different direction I thought it was going to.
Bespin saw Saw Gerrera asking if he could clean your window. Here, man.
Anytime folks like to make fun of 90s action figure comic dudes for having shoulder pads and gear, I just point them to modern video games. There they are. They're right
just pointing them to designing women. Delta Burke did it first. That's what I always say.
No one had bigger shoulder pads than Delta Burke, bro.
No one. But yeah, I mean, I like the setting though. It's pretty. I mean, like this one right here, like this looks like a film set. It does look like one of the ones like a film set I thought they would make for Mando or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the trees. What's up?
Brown Wampa.
Now, yeah. Somebody said that they were calling it the Swampa. That's what the reviewer was calling it.
I like it.
But
I like how he's just throwing him around like that. That's pretty good.
yeah, it's like Incredible Hulk in the Avengers movie, I think, when he grabs the guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this to me, like as I was watching it, like it looks like, I mean, I think it's going to be a really rad game. I think it's going to be a really, really fun video game. The critical like fan who tries to see it all connected and equal in every single way was a little annoyed at seeing like a Wampa. Like now they made a brown Wampa. I would rather they just make a new creature. But I think fans like that stuff, so I won't be the buzzkill.
There's one of
About it.
those Republic police gunships from the Clone Wars. I think this is Coruscant. I'm not 100% sure though. It does kind of look like it though.
Nathan
Yeah.
Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
Yeah.
you, buddy. When I've done a few of these games before, I can get you through. I'm gonna get you a grappling hook, just like in my last game. Hold on. You're gonna see.
Is it the same actor or just like a ripoff?
No, the actor's been in. He was in Star Wars Squadrons, Red Dead. He's been in a lot of games. That guy.
Oh,
He's
nice.
He's like, off your back, bud. Shoot you. Nope, not gonna shoot you. It's a kick. Could have shot you. Yeah, fuck you. Hey, fuck
I
the
like that
animals.
monster. The monster's
Fuck
fun.
the animals, man.
Yeah, I beat that.
This is what actually happened to the dinosaurs, right? Like, I'm gonna stab you up.
A toothy triceratops is what we call that.
Oh.
They call me Redbeard.
Yeah. I'm coming for you, Hemsworths. All of them.
This is for the Star Wars kid. That's what he said when he did that move. I remember him.
Yeah, for the Star Wars kid.
Meg was telling me that that guy might be this creature that doesn't have bones, and they use like their armor suits as their bones.
Yeah, like Dirge. That's what a lot of people are saying, which could be pretty interesting. But for the other guy, like he's definitely from the High Republic, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
but it seems like he's like a Jedi that's become a dark side user.
Yeah. Oh, look at that grappling hook. Yeah.
Hi, George.
There's MTTs, AATs. This is inside a core ship.
Okay.
We had a game like this on the PlayStation called the Masters of Tashi Station. Jason,
right.
If you're familiar. Yeah, it was pretty good. A lot of marks bought that game. It was pretty good.
So right here we get this is where we get the his Kylo saber kind of thing.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. I need some of his hair though. One of my kids has a collection. I have to.
A collection of hair.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the beginning documentary.
Sure, whatever. I don't.
Your McGregor hair collection.
Well, there was a lot of old people on the game stage at the Game Awards last night who were like, "We don't play games, but they got us." You know, like we're here anyway. I was like, "That's a take."
Yeah, wasn't it? Who was it?
Dunkachino?
Scarface.
But they also had like older developers, and which is fine, but it's just like the card that they read was like 100 feet away, and they're all like, it's like they got to get that clear glass shit like right up on them so they can read it, you know?
Right.
I felt bad. Everyone's like, I can't read the card. Even Al Pacino was like, I can't read the cards. I mean, like, they're too far away, assholes. These people are older, man. Yeah.
Al Pacino. So Bestman Bulletin writes, the trailer sees Cal coming face to face with a variety of new enemies, including B1 battle droids, BX commando droids, super battle droids, Magna Guards, Imperial sentry droids, the ones that look like dark troopers, and even a Wampa, along with returning enemies from Fallen Order such as stormtroopers, KX security guards, and flame troopers, to name a few. Kestis also interacts with a variety of creatures throughout the trailer and uses a couple of traversal, which is a neat addition to the game, if you ask me. not me, Bestman Bulletin. Cal can see piloting. Cal can be seen piloting the Mantis, but besides BD-1, the only ally from Jedi Fallen Order seen in the trailer is Cal's fellow Jedi and friend Siri, who sports a new look and has a collection of Jedi archives. Book nerd. Neither Grease nor Marin are present in the gameplay trailer, but Cal appears to have a new ally, a character who gives off some serious Kyle Katarn Dash Rendar vibes named Bode, who gives our hero a helping hand on Coruscant and assist him in combat on an unknown planet. So yeah, at first we were like, when we saw the trailer, we're like, is that the new Kyle Katarn? I'm like, he would have a goatee, right? And then I was like, wait, no, Kyle Katarn's just like a little kid in Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we're like, this is just like Kyle Katarn's hero.
Yeah, they call him Chucky Katarn right now.
Chucky Katarn.
Yeah,
and then they settled on Bode. Is what you mean to say?
Yeah.
They still might get changed back to little Chucky Katarn. Chucky Katarn. Hi, name's Chucky Katarn, Jedi Survivor. So, but did I skip?
It's an 8-year-old with the Alex Jones voice. He's just living under Imperial rule has aged him like 40 years.
Buy my supplements and maybe some baseball cards for me. Not much regarding the story is revealed during the trailer, but the mysterious man in the Bacta tank seen in the teaser trailer appears to be Cal's main foe this time around. Kestis seems to let the unknown character out of the Bacta tank, who then vows not to be imprisoned again, with the implication being that it was the Jedi who placed him there. Throughout the trailer, the villain references the Jedi Order no longer existing, and his large henchman, who some believe is the same species as Dirge from the 2D Clone Wars series, Gendai. Also, is that like Gendy? Is that a tribute to a Gendy? Gendai,
yes,
Gendy,
yeah, it is, huh? Gendy, yeah.
Gendai, yeah.
They're trolling him now.
I know what they're doing. He probably they probably came up with George Lucas probably named it or something while Gendy was still involved.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you got me.
Also, utters a line about
I care so much what he's up to. I don't.
About reminding Cal why his kind are supposed to be dead. Gingers or Jedi? What do you mean here, Vespin? Jedi Survivor will release on March 17th on PC and current generation consoles. Man, look at Bespin. He's fucking swinging at people.
I do that.
Current generation, in case you don't know, okay? Consoles, PlayStation 5 and Xbox.
Old ass generation.
You know. So yeah, so there you go. Bespin said it. He fucking called you guys out. Called you out for not having the newest one. We're looking at you, Nick, from the Bespin podcast. You needed to. He's like, I'm buying a house. We're like, buy an Xbox, buy a PlayStation. That's what we say. I
saw at least like 3 or 4 people say they're impossible to get. I'm just responding like, no. In a lot of main like Western countries now, it's really easy to get them, and you've got until March. Like, if you worry now, just wait till March.
Yeah,
it's not healthcare. You know, we can't get that here. We can get a PlayStation 5 though. No, we're good. We're good.
I mean, the way I figure it, our elder years are going to be really bad, so we might as well enjoy our younger ones with the Xbox. Bestman says, "Buy an Xbox, bitch." That's what Bestman says.
No, that's not what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
No, on the podcast he said buy a Switch, bitch.
He said buy a Switch, bitch.
Been wanting to make that joke for a long time. I just keep forgetting. I don't write these things down. So I think you figured that out by now.
I'm learning. Bestman says, "Man, I've got a handful of friends on PS5. Hey, all we play is Fortnite. What do we care? It's the same thing at the end of the day."
Something tells me he ain't spending that coffee money on coffee.
Nope, he's not. He's spending it on Fortnite skins. No, I'm kidding. Wait, actually, I didn't want to go back to that story. Before we go to yeah,
everyone's super hyped for this game. They love the combat, they love the character. You think if that was Rey in that role, everyone would be saying how this is like overpowered? How could Rey be running around by Obi-Wan? Or if it was like Rey's mom or just some chick in general? You know,
to be honest, when the first game came out, they also said this about Cal, because there was like, how dare he have the same powers as Obi-Wan, right? He's just a kid.
Jesus. Yeah.
And I'm like, but these are the same people that also want Starkiller in canon to do everything that happened in the Force Unleashed. They want a remaster, they want a sequel, they want it all canonized. And I'm like, they just contradict everyone and themselves
It's a game,
all
man.
the time. Yeah, exactly.
This is what worries me about, like, when James Gunn was like, our games are going to connect to the movies. I'm like, I wish they wouldn't. I wish these would just be games that you could say maybe the story took place, but none of this crazy, fucking overpowered, fun, gamey adventure shit. Like, you imagine Obi-Wan going, Anakin, remember that time we were hanging off a pterodactyl and just gliding around looking at for tokens to collect to get a golden Gundock skin? Yeah, I remember that.
Well, all I'm saying is if I fucking upgrade Obi-Wan Kenobi's battering, why isn't it upgraded in the movie? That's what I want to know right now. Before we go on to Bespin's story, apparently the expert photographer who got all of the sneaky shots from the foolish people in Wales, from the foolish production who doesn't know what they're doing, doesn't know how to protect itself because they are foolish. Because they are paranoid and don't know who could be in the shadows lurking. This I guess they sold this photo to News.
Could be Bob Thumbcheck, right? He's just lurking out there. He's got nothing else to do now. He's just out in the trees going, "What are you making? What are you making? What are you making? What are you making, Bob? What are you making? What are you making?"
So, this is the Squid Game guy, and he's the main character of Acolyte. And by the way, we'll be going back to talk about the game and stuff still back and forth, but if you look, it looks like he has a robot hand again, but I was like, robot hand is back. And then Bespin was like, that was the other hand before. This is the hand that was behind the tree is what I remember now. He had a hand behind the tree in the other photo. So I'm thinking that these guys are wearing Under Armour Old Republic style. They have released, they must be wearing like bracers, sort of like Kenobi does in the Clone Wars, but they're wearing it under the robes, and they're it's not super bulky, which hey, I'm all about. But so there we go. It looks like he has two gloves on. So two things: either he's wearing armor, or he lost both hands and has two robot hands, which is way more extreme than Luke Skywalker. Think about it. Anakin, Luke, one robot hand. That's cool. Two. Oh shit, extreme. This ain't your dad's Star Wars, right?
I cut up both my arms so I could have two robot hands just to teach Luke Skywalker a lesson one day.
Look, when I was writing Acolyte, I woke up and I said, how could I be more extreme than George Lucas? And I drank a Monster Energy drink, and then I typed out, he got two robot hands.
No, what he doesn't tell you, Jason, is that he lost both arms in a bomb bad racing match. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was really brutal.
Man, I had a theory and everything.
Just cut him right off, and yeah.
My theory was it was a fierce jacking accident, but I guess you are the creator, so I
mean, Rick had a few of those on set.
Yeah. Anyways, Rick. Okay, let me see if it'll let me go. Okay, so exclusive. Star Wars The Acolyte is filming at the Brecon Beacons. BreconBeacons.com.
I love that graphic.
National Park.
That needs to be the new, like, that's the screen that loads up on Windows 12.
This is like this like reminds me of when I'm like looking at UFO videos from like 10 years ago on like Daily Motion, Video Motion, or whatever that site is, and there's like Bigfoot videos leak into my UFO studies, and I'm like, that's so not real.
Just be honest. Let's say, like I had to update Windows. That's what crashed on me because Windows wanted you to update, so it breaks everything to force you to update. I update Windows. I load up my computer to get the show, and that's my fucking default home screen. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh, promotional. Gotcha. All right, Steve Ballmer. So what if Steve Ballmer joined Hair Club for Men, but that happened to him? Like, that was the unfortunate side effect, This, as you guys know, Steve Ballmer is.
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
You've seen the dancing.
Yes, yeah.
I'm convinced that this Wookiee is the ancestor of Perrin, because they both have the man bun.
Wookiee and the Hendersons, man. Can't wait.
Maybe this Wookiee went and lived with Perrin's family, And then that's when Perrin's family began adopting the man bun, in out of love of the Wookiee who they adopted 200 or 100 years ago.
Well, James, 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 he whatever. He claims 1/16 Wookiee to get some tax credits on Coruscant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very popular. Very
I'm
smart tax move.
Can I steal this picture, Bespin, for the podcast version cover, so that way when people are listening to the podcast, they could look at the picture and know what we're talking about. But yeah, you nailed it though.
Why
He said
is
I
the
wanted
top of his head so big?
because he's got a man bun, dude. He's got a top knot, little samurai.
I've seen this picture like 3 or 4 times today on Twitter, and I just laughed every time.
I told you it was coming, bro. The minute I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's the one. I'm the guy that had to warn people, this is going to be the thing you don't want. Because I'll make fun of this. Like, if I'll make fun of it, the whole fucking internet's going to glom on.
Yeah.
And that, the minute I saw that, I was like, oh, no.
It's like Ki-Adi-Mundi and Chewbacca had a baby. And named it Perrin.
Well, I called it Kia D Wookiee yesterday.
Yeah, Ki-Adi, and his middle name is Perrin. Okay, I'm sticking to that. Okay, okay. So you could give Bespin a coffee, which you should, and if you read his site. Towards the end of October, I was informed that a Star Wars production was heading to Wales sometime in November, but as to where was not shared and which series was unknown. Within mere days, myself and various friends located signs near Brecon, Wales, with the letter PDX, which stands for Paradox. So if you see the PDX signs or Paradox, that's how you know it's it. Send us the photos if you find it. The code names for the series, which is Paradox. The Acolyte. The series Acolyte. Upon following the signs, it led to the Brecon Beacons National Park in South Wales. After a handful of days, I was able to locate the set. It's also worth mentioning that Lucasfilm's latest release, Willow, filmed various scenes for its series in the Brecon Beacons, including its national park. So I wonder if the scene shot for Willow inspired the Acolyte crew to scout the area. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good assumption he's making. Like, while they were scouting stuff, they probably discovered places that were like, ooh, this would be good for Acolyte and Star Wars, Disney and Lucasfilm Productions often use code names for films and series being shot. Signs for Andor dotted around the UK use the letters EE, which is short for E&E Industries, its production company, and its code name was Pilgrim. I think it might still be Pilgrim, but I'm not sure. Which they're still using, as seen in the set pictures of the series I released yesterday. There we go. Across the pond, Obi-Wan Kenobi used the code name Joshua Tree, and signs for the production simply use the letters JT. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Locals and those familiar with the production taking place in the Brecon Beacons, which is it's funny to say that, Brecon Beacons National Park, didn't know what was filming was a Star Wars series. All they knew was that it was a Disney production. What didn't help matters was at the time I first discovered the area where the Acolyte was setting up to film, there was a second production, a television series titled The Winter King, that was also filming nearby. The signs featuring the letters TDK also placed near PDX signs. However, the Winter King was using the Ponticil. I don't know, man. Ponticil Reservoir, and the Acolyte was using the upper reservoir along with a forest close nearby. Now, so right here we could see some of the pictures he was taking. Right here, we see the little PDX signs. Right here, we see right here, little Bespin Bulletin logo right here in the corner, in case you don't know. Right here, we got a UFO landing, abducting Bespin, taking him away. And but you can see the little roads and stuff. As you get closer, the route to the Acolyte set closes off, and the surrounding fields near the set are farmland, meaning there's no way to get a glimpse of what's being built from the ground, or at least we've not found a way after multiple weeks of visiting. That being said, I did have photographs sent to me, which is pictured below, of where locals believe the set was being built, was taken in late November and early December. The first images supposedly show pipes being laid for dry ice use. And Bespin confirmed to me on the way back from lunch today that is indeed the case. This is the location, and that is what they were doing there with the dry ice. That is accurate. Right here we could see. And he also mentioned like a water truck was there. He thinks maybe it was to fill up the reservoir, like with like water, to, like give it like more water to like run through, like fill it up or whatever.
Take it right out of the poor people's homes, put it in the lake for Star Wars.
Well, the Wookiees got to drink something, you know. And it says the light was bugging, man.
I don't think we've ever seen a Wookiee drink.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't Chewbacca drink in Solo: A Star Wars Story at Kira's?
Yeah, I think so.
Like a savage, right? I think so. Does he? He's getting a beer when he meets Kenobi. I don't know if he ever drinks though. Anyways, so I mean, it looks nice though. I mean, it's a good picture. It's a good picture. Don't worry about it, man. The best, Mr. Bestman.
Bestman was way up there in the balloons, man.
Yeah, he was just flying around like, "Hey guys, let me down." The location of the
Nick's like, no, mate.
Yeah. Nick's like, no, tell me I have the best mustache. He's like, no. So, anyways, the location of the Brecon Beacons National Park is being dubbed Location 2 by the production, with Location 1 being located on a farmland near Vaynor Road. Mether Tidefill. The site is also being used as the production base and has been transporting vehicles, generators, lighting rigs to Location 2 in the Brecon Beacons National Park. So right here, you can see it right here. Like, that's a good picture.
It looks like much of my childhood where all my relatives lived in a trailer park, Jason.
Right. Look right here. Look right here. Hey, man, can I borrow your HBO password? Come on, man. So that's
no,
what's
my copy
right
of Rampage. That's what they want. Every time.
All right. I believe the image was taken
WrestleMania 3 tape.
WrestleMania 3. I believe that the image taken yesterday showcasing members of the Acolyte cast in costume, that's talking about the Daily Mail photos, I think, were taken by one of the two sets I've mentioned, either the one near Vaynor Road or the one near Brecon. If not, then I believe the series location will be the same. So this is the same location. That's what he confirmed to me. And then right here this is that picture we were talking about earlier with him with his hand behind the tree. So we know that the hand behind the tree has that armor on. I'm guessing it's armor and not a robot hand now.
You think if Bespin goes back a second day, he puts on some cosplay like this so he blends in, you know?
Yeah, you ever think about doing that? Like just like maybe dressing up like a fucking Chewbacca and being like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Like just like glue some hair to your face. Just show up and be like, "Rah!" They'll be like, "Oh shit, get back there, man! You get makeup. They're waiting for you." And then now you're on the show. Like that's how it happens, right? That's how you're gonna get your big break, Bespin. That's how you're gonna get your big break.
Bespin's got big balls.
Bespin, we made you and we'll break you. Just remember that. Well, I don't know why I got drunk with power just now. The
if
series
you go back as a top knot Wookiee, they'll give you some space in the back to stand in. You know?
Right. Yeah. You got to buy a Perrin wig, put the top knot on, and say, "I want a keg of beer."
Just say I'm with Lee. Lee and Perrin. Never mind. Told you everything in Star Wars is named after food.
Okay. How about this one? Show up and go, "I'm with Leslie Headland. We're in the Illuminati."
Patty Jenkins sent me.
Patty, yeah. Patty sent me. I got the scraps of paper. That will make sense in a little while. We'll talk about that.
She told me this is where she hid the character arcs. Like, you're merging rumors. You know, it's great.
Right. That's how you do it. The series also filmed a couple weeks ago in the village of Resolven. That sounds like a Star Wars name. Also located in South Wales. Friends and locals spotted the PDX signs I've spoken of, but filming had already wrapped and the signs had been taken down by the time I ventured to the location. Where the signs were located led to the reservoir and waterfalls. So I imagined what was shot in Resolven and in Brecon are the same on-screen location. So like the same world. I believe it's called Walestopia. That's what it's going to be called, Walestopia. What I'm loving about the Acolyte production currently is that it seems to be following the route of Andor instead of the Manhattan Beach produced series, The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and are using large sets. What about Skeleton Crew? Are you trying to say Skeleton Crew is different? Sorry, no, he's not. Are using large sets, practical effects.
That's Jason's impersonation of me, by the way. It's pretty good.
That's how I read some of your tweets, just so you guys know. Don't get me wrong. I love the Manhattan Beach projects, but what's that?
Yeah, well, they haven't seen how I type to you, so it sounds like that.
It's just like that, yeah. Is Manhattan Beach in New York? Is it in the Big Apple? And I'm like, no, it's not.
No way, Jose, as Max would say.
Are the Muppets taking Manhattan Beach too? Sorry, but the production value of Andor fell far higher and made the world feel more.
Star Wars, right? Just like running. You got to be quiet. We're taking photos.
Come on, animal. But, all right. So anyways, it had a more real world feel. Is what he's saying, and lived in something like Fett or Kenobi. Now, what he's saying is, I hope 100% correct. That's what I want it to be. But then I saw a little show called fucking Willow. And I don't know. I think all bets are off. When you film anything in Wales, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what's going to happen. That's what I'm going to say. So we'll see, Acolyte. We'll see. The Acolyte is set to film until May, with a release expected sometime in the first half of 2024.
Jason.
Yeah.
If that show is called fucking Willow, I think you were on Disney Cuck again, not Disney Plus. I think you need to check your URL.
True story.
Site again.
True story. Do not search up Willow around your kids, because there are more OnlyFans sites dedicated to Willow.
Thanks,
some
Buffy.
Girl named Willow,
Thanks,
probably
Buffy.
her stage name, than Willow of Good. Just I've learned that. I mean, they didn't say anything, thankfully, but I was just like, whoa, holy shit. I'm just trying to look up like what's going on with Warwick Davis today. The Acolyte is set into film until May, with their release expected sometime in the first half of 2024. The series, created by Leslie Headland, is described as a mystery thriller that'll see a former Jedi Padawan and her former master investigate a series of crimes and confront sinister forces during the time of the High Republic era. Amandla Stenberg leads the cast, which also includes Lee Jung-jae, Squid Game, Daphne Keane, Charlie Barnett, Jodie Turner-Smith, Manny Jacinto, Rebecca Henderson, Charles Chapman, Dean Charles Chapman, and David Mark Chapman, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Yoko Ono, and Carrie Ann Moss from The Matrix. And we were trying to figure out yesterday if that was Carrie Ann Moss in the makeup, as like the Zabrak and shit. Like Bespin was the one who suggested it, by the way. And yeah, I looked at it some more, try to like study it. I couldn't tell. I couldn't make anything out. But it is interesting because we have this video game right now. We just had the trailer for it. Literally a Jedi from that time is the bad guy in our Obi-Wan Kenobi era, story, which is kind of wild in thinking about it. And also like pretty fun. But I'm curious if we're going to start to get will we get that backstory in the High Republic novels, or are we going to get that story in the novel for the game?
Well, I was thinking the novel for the game is mostly about the crew and about going after this device, which they make a big deal on in the screenshots. They keep captioning this device. I think that's the device. So I think that's what they're doing in the book. They're going after this thing that the High Republic Jedi wants. So Cal finds it through getting through the fifth brother in the book. But I think in the High Republic books, like a future one coming out before the game, we find out who this High Republic guy is, whatever it is. Or he might not even be explained much. He might just be like name dropped or something. I don't know. Because they're pretty close when they're planning all this out. So this game's been in development for so long. I'd imagine that they've probably worked it out.
Yeah, and it looks like when I saw it, I thought it looked like the old Hasbro Comtech reader, like the Jedi communicator that was like a lady shaver that they made
Yeah,
into
yeah,
a thing.
yeah.
And
It,
I
it
thought
looks very
it,
similar.
it
It
looked
must be
like
like
a up
it
designed
kind of
version of
yeah.
it.
It reminds me like of a High Republic version, if you get what I mean. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of way more technical than what they have now. So I don't know. I haven't really looked into it, but I'm gonna try and like analyze it as much as I can. But
What
I
if
don't
it's really
know.
stupid and he's like talking back in time? I'm talking to our friends back 100 years ago. No, that would be really dumb. And then we had this other story that I'm kind of a fan of the story. Not I'm not. I don't know, I should say I'm a fan of the story, but I find it interesting because like two things are going on. Like that's my takeaway from this. To start with, my takeaway is either Patty Jenkins is being like sort of attacked by the industry, or Patty Jenkins is crazy. Whichever, I don't know which one it is. And like I always try to be on the side of the artist, and I don't trust these corporations who run these things, and they will try to character assassinate you if you don't play ball right and stuff. So it could really be that. And I just wanted to say, always keep that in the back of your mind that they might be Patty might be okay, and they might be crazy, but or evil. But over the last few days, there has been yeah
all that's true. But if I have to take the stories at face value,
right.
I would say she got carte blanche to do whatever she wanted with Wonder Woman 84. And then when that got the critical and financial reaction it got, she didn't get that anymore. And then she could easily go, well, it's because you didn't release it in the theaters. And I'm like, they probably did her a service not releasing that in the theaters, like, to be perfectly honest with you. Because if people got COVID and died over that fucking movie, you never hear the end of it.
Sorry, I just got a message from him. Yeah,
From Patty.
after we're done, not on the show because he's show shy. He's going to tell you guys the story about what happened.
All right, give me 1 second. I gotta go let my dog out.
Okay, that's what Rob calls taking a shit. You don't know. He calls it letting his dog out. So hey, whatever, man, whatever. But I actually got the Baymax pulled the video for, I don't know, exclusively for me, but he pulled the video and I had a clip of the video, but I forgot. So we'll just read it. So over the last few days, there's been pandemonium within the DC fan base following an article released by the Hollywood Reporter, which claimed Patty Jenkins' third Wonder Woman installment had been scrapped and their project was considered dead. Since then, there's been various stories from the trades and other outlets reporting that they've heard regarding the Jenkins and Warner Brothers Discovery situation. God, I hate that title, Warner Brothers Discovery. I hate Discovery.
So stupid.
So dumb. It's not good. I won't be going into the weeds of that here, but when a director, writer, or actor is attached to Star Wars, that franchise always gets brought up. So during the latest episode of the Hot Mic podcast, not that Hot Mic, the other Hot Mic, hosted by John Roca and Jeff Snyder, the topic of Jenkins and Warner Brothers arose. You may recall that Snyder was the first to report that Damon Lindelof was on board to write a Star Wars movie back in the spring, months before it was reported by the trades, and has since had several reports turn out accurate. When discussing the current situation between Jenkins and Warner Brothers, Snyder said the following: I've heard some things about Patty Jenkins. I've heard she's a fucking nightmare. I get it. I hate to be the guy calling a woman a nightmare, but my God, I've said that about countless male directors. So, like, I heard that the Wonder Woman 3 script she turned in was a mess. I heard the Star Wars thing, Rogue Squadron, was a mess. Like, what do you want from me? Jeff Snyder via the Hot Mic. Yeah, he's like, he's just like, hey, man, I'm just saying what it is, man. I'm just saying what it is. So it was kind of funny. But the whole thing, the only thing about that, like, that I wonder is like, how far was Jenkins in it? Was it just a rough draft? Was it a first draft? Was it a second, third draft? Because I feel
Was it
like
scraps of
that's
paper?
was it just scraps of paper? Yeah, that's what the trades wrote about, one of the things, right? Jenkins Rogue Squad.
I haven't been able to see that anywhere. The scraps of paper bit. The only where I heard it was on the timeline you were given. But I'm not saying it
Yeah,
doesn't exist. I'm saying I haven't seen it anywhere.
Yeah, it was on one of the. I think I could be wrong. Best might be able to clarify. It was I think it was on the wrap, and it was the paywall version. I could be wrong about that though. Jenkins' Rogue Squadron was reportedly delayed indefinitely due to scheduling conflicts as the Wonder Woman 1984 director moved on to work on the third Wonder Woman film, which was supposedly pushed up in release. When with the movie expected to release sometime in 2024. Rogue Squadron was due to release in December 2023 and was removed from Lucasfilm and Disney's release schedule officially earlier this year. And so that kind of like keeps coming up. That keeps coming up like, oh, do you guys think, do you think she could be back, could it be back on the schedule and that kind of stuff? And like I think for starters, like this has all happened so fast that I doubt it. Like I really, really doubt that anything could have really moved on it yet. And then unless we're hearing things delayed, like incredibly, you know what I mean? Like this like she might have, maybe she's known for 2 months, for instance. I don't think that's the case though. There's evidence to say otherwise because she was playing along like that it was happening still very recently. So so the next Star Wars film is slated to release in December 2025.
Jason.
Yeah.
You really think people believe she had to put down a Star Wars movie because, well, it's going to line up with this other movie? You think, come on, folks, come on.
Right. No. I mean, it's more like the assumption is like she's like, oh, hey, Kathy, yeah, Kennedy, that's you, right? Yeah, this is Patty J. Guess what? I got fired. What are you doing? Let's make a Star Wars. And they're like, okay. Like it's not really like getting those pieces moving isn't like that easy. But the only way I could see
Let's
it.
make a movie. Bang bang. I am the Patty J.
Yeah, the only way I could see it going is if that way, for instance, is if they're like, you know what, we want to give Lindelof more time, and like the original version of Rogue Squadron that they were going to make had like all the blueprints ready to make the sets, like everything is just like we just need the space. That's the only like hurdle. In which case they like go to like some other studio that's like not being used currently, and like
Just fart
put
out
it
a
there.
Star Wars movie. Super
Yeah.
easy. Anyone can do it.
Yeah, right. But I mean, that's the only way I could see it happening. So what I'm trying to say is I think that's highly unlikely.
Oh, also, Jason, it's Linda Lost. I thought you should.
Linda Lost. Okay, so the next Star Wars film is slated to release in December 2025. Lucasfilm president, so basically 2026 when you get down to it. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy previously stated that the next film slated to release will come from Taika Waititi, Thor: Love and Thunder, and Christy Wilson Cairns, The Good Nurse. However, since Kennedy's comments, there's been growing momentum surrounding the film being written by Damon Lindelof, with Snyder previously saying he believes that Lindelof's film will take the 2025 date. I can't fucking say it, man. It's too fucking stupid. Lindelof.
Yeah. You never thought of that one, huh? All this time.
No, I didn't ever thought of that one. That one's all you, man.
Sitting right there.
Copyright Rob.
Blue World Order.
Blue World Order, don't forget it. Coming for you, bitch. But yeah. So I mean that's kind of the culmination of the Rogue Squadron Patty Jenkins stuff about what was going on there, and will it amount to anything? I mean it definitely could. It could. It's more before it wasn't possible is one thing, as I would say. Before it couldn't happen because she had to do Wonder Woman. Now she apparently ain't doing Wonder Woman. And after she sent that guy the letter with the Wikipedia page on character arc, I think that probably closed down. Like they either really made up hard in the aftermath of that, or it's done. It's one of the two,
how you know
right?
it's a man's world, Jason?
How's that?
When a woman sends an executive a Wikipedia link on character arcs, bam.
Wikipedia.
But when Jared Leto sends his co-stars used condoms and dead rats in the mail, he gets nominated for an Oscar like
he's a
4 years
genius.
later. Yeah.
It's Morbin time.
It's a man's world.
Do people say it's Morbin time or Tyne?
Time.
Time, because like morphin
yeah.
time, like Power
Yeah.
Rangers.
Okay. I'm making sure that I had that right because I was like, I thought it was time, but you never know with these kids today. But yeah. So, anyways, the Rogue Squadron thing, I don't think it's happening. I
It's
doubt
not.
it.
It's not. Anyone still thinking something's coming in 24? What? What? How can you think that? It's just not happening.
Yeah.
Or they could make something, but it would be awful. It'd be trash, and they're not going to even if you don't like what they do make, it's
Yeah.
not going to be awful.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it would be.
They'd
from
cancel
all
it. They
of,
would like announce it, film it, or
and
get ready and
scrap
then
it.
cancel it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, it sounds like it would be doing exactly what they've been telling the trades we're not doing this time. We're like getting it all ready. We're making it right. We're having stuff planned out and all that kind of stuff.
And then we just left turn into just shitting one out again.
Just go back to racing it through. Patty's free. I mean, and like
she knows Mando.
does she?
He was an 84, right?
well, one of the things that
Trump.
like when Bestman and I were having a conversation about this yesterday is we were like looking at like what she's done, and she did Monster. Then she didn't direct a movie for like 10 years. And I think it's a fair question to ask, why did it take 10 years for a movie?
Because she's a woman and no woman directed any movies for 10 years.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
But I mean, no, but seriously though, like I almost have no. I mean, I think it's worth saying. Maybe Patty Jenkins is bad at development. Maybe she's good at coming in and directing something. Maybe Monster is like a true crime, like it's like a story. It's like you're taking a narrative and you're adapting it essentially.
True story.
Well, it's whatever. But
Queen was that was a true story.
Yeah.
Right, but my I remember getting into it with some folks up in LA. I won't say who, but pundits.
John Favreau.
Shindigs.
John Favreau.
I remember getting into it at the time.
Dave Filoni.
They were like, they didn't let her work because, and I'm like, fucking Catherine Bigelow, like fucking like won Best Director or whatever for The Hurt Locker. If that were true, in 2009, Hollywood would have been scrambling for every female director they get just to throw it onto something. Because you know how they work, right? One thing works and then it opens the door for 50 other fucking projects,
Mm-hmm.
Good or bad, but that's not the case. I feel that sounds like director's jail, bro. And how do you go into director's jail after winning an Oscar? You're a fucking pain in the ass to deal with. You can't get anything past the fucking mark, or you don't turn stuff in, or you're fickle and you're picky. I've worked with artists who are super talented people, and you're just like, they're like, oh, I come in at like 2 and everyone's been there since 9 a.m. working. And you're like, what are you doing, man? So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like, again, she got carte blanche to do whatever she co-wrote Wonder Woman 84. She didn't write Wonder Woman.
No.
She co-wrote that. That was her passion project. That was the one to show you this person can do whatever they want to do, And that's what they made. She shouldn't be writing shit.
Okay, how about this?
Writing anything.
Maybe Jeff Snyder's lying because he wants to say the Snyderverse because the Snyders stick together. You ever think about that?
I wish, but
connect the lines, people.
He hates comic book movies.
Connect the line. That's what he says. That's how the game is played.
My friend likes to call him Snyder, like the repairman from One Day at a Time.
That's what I think. And it's like, it's more said like Schneider. You gotta go like a Schneider.
I thought that was a dude from You Can't Do That on Television as a kid.
Oh yeah.
Until I learned it was actually Leah Thompson playing both those roles. Who knew?
Oh, fuck you. Leah Thompson is a beautiful woman, not the You Can't Do That on Television guy. That's some bullshit.
No one calls her Leia Thompson. It's Leah Thompson. Just saying.
Leah Thompson. Well, George Lucas does. He calls her Leia Thompson.
Yeah, it's Princess Leia, and then it's Leia Thompson. Yeah. That's why I put her in the Duck movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I was just thinking about how weird it is that the High Republic guy brings the battle droid army. Is this guy just like anything old is cool? Is he like one of those vintage guys that says like vinyl records are better no matter what?
He's missing an arm. He's got some bounty hunters.
Yeah.
He's got a Trade Federation core ship
Oh, that's original.
with an army of droids.
Yeah,
Like,
it sounds like James playing West End Star Wars RPG. He just has all that gear. He has everything. Right? He's got 2060 lightsaber combat, and
Do we have his name yet?
James?
no,
Yeah,
no.
sadly.
I think he's played by there's an actor people keep saying, like, apparently he looks just like him, he sounds just like him. I don't know who this guy is, but they've all the screenshots don't name him. They just name like two foes to like the picture of the two together, but then they do name drop the guy, the Uncharted looking guy with Cal. Like they name
Bode,
him. So
Bode.
I can give you his name. I wasn't supposed to do this, but I figured since I showed up on Pizza Party Day, I'd give you a little scoop.
Okay.
His name is it's Marty Sue.
Marty Sue.
It's Marty Sue.
Marty Sue.
It's true. Also, I want to start referring to Patty as Punky Jenkins.
Punky.
She's got punky power.
By the sound of things, we won't be talking about her too much anymore.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
All I gotta say is when you fail that badly after, like, I loved Wonder Woman, man. I was going in there going, I went in that movie going like, I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking, and I came out going like, that shit was fucking cool. And then that last movie, man, I was like, what? Like,
as I was watching that last Wonder Woman, I was like, okay, so Patty Jenkins is like, I'm working on Star Wars, and she's just like said, yeah, whatever. That's what I was hoping was the case, but I guess not. I guess
that makes it worse. You don't tank one project because what is she, Elon Musk? She's like, I'm busy with Twitter. Fuck my 8 other companies.
I mean, but when people take on too many projects, it tends to go that way, though. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
But not during the middle of production.
No, but if you were supposed to be writing, I don't know. I just feel like I mean, obviously I'm just talking out my ass but I just feel like if you're gonna write a Star Wars thing, you can't be like doing 5 other things Taika Waititi style. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Unless Christy Cairns is the one who's actually like doing most of the lifting, and you're just like an advisor about the film that you want to make. If you're being a little Feige, like, oh yeah, I'm co-writing by just saying I want this one to have battle droids and a guy from the High Republic.
No, I just want it all to have gonks. It's called gonk. Star Wars gonk. Yeah,
gonk.
That's what we're gonna make. Gonk.
Star Wars story.
It's gonna be all about. It's gonna more. Shut the gonk up. Keeps talking. It's gonk, 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 gonk. Turns out gonk is like Hitler.
Oh no! Oh no! Don't.
It's very. Zach is trying to find another Hitler movie to make.
Turns out, Gonk was a rapper who was a lot like Kanye, was turned into a droid, and then they took away his ability to say anything because he just said stupid shit. He just says Gonk all the time. A Star Wars story. So any news on a Willow season 2? Fucking,
you're so kind, John. You're so kind.
Yeah.
John Kazan. Only you and John Kazan's mom are that kind. You know what I mean? It's cute.
Too many projects. Taika is fucked, says Bespin.
I've seen who he's hanging out with. That's not a bad place to be.
Junkbox says, any news on Willow season 2? So yesterday, I think it was yesterday, John Kasdan tweets that the fucking Metallica song was in the script. So officially, John Kasdan is way too much pot marijuana smoke to ever touch anything that I love again, as far as I'm concerned. He had my vote before this, but when I find out that Metallica was in your script, then and your script wasn't that good from the start. Like, there's part of me that was always like, hey, maybe someone was lost in translation. But when I hear that, I'm like, okay, this was doomed from day one.
Writers Blockbusters is a podcast I listen to a lot. They're script people that look at movies, and they treat the movie as the final version of a script, just so you can base it on that versus whatever.
Right.
And they did Willow. They did a retrospective on Willow. They got a little off track for an hour talking about hero's journey shit, and all that kind of stuff. But
right.
When they finally get to the Willow stuff, They were mentioning the show and how John Chasm, because they're big fans of the Solo movie, which I disagree with, but they get to the John Chasm, and apparently John Chasm is a giant Willow guy. Like, he's like, he had the Willow poster on his wall. I'm like, yeah, and he was listening to Metallica, which makes sense. If he's in his room in 1987, and he's looking at his Willow poster, you know, like,
Yeah.
but that's not appropriate for Willow. Or whatever. What I'm trying to, Jason, don't get me on specific.
Yeah, I know. No.
Right?
Don't get me wrong. There's some songs.
Don't be the internet.
I love the Beach Boys, bud. I love the Beach Boys, but they don't belong in my fucking Willow. And
what if they?
no amount
what if
of pot
Kokomo
smoke is going to
appears
make
in
me
Willow
think that.
season 2? Then what? You know, take me down to Coco. Yeah. So
yeah, it just doesn't. Make
I don't like
sense.
his. I'm not thinking he's a bad writer. I just don't think that what he writes is tonally appropriate for the subject matter that they're in. Like a giant depressing Han Solo movie is just not the fucking Han Solo movie to make. It's a Star Wars movie. You know, you can make a fucking group smugglers who did the smugglers runners, you know, and then Han Solo appears as a cameo in something to kind of whatever, but I'm just saying, I don't think he tonally gets the project that he works on. Like, I think he shoves something else into that, you know, and whether you're a fan of it or not, it's irrelevant, because if you grew up in the 80s, yeah, you could say I'm a fan of Superman. Yeah, I grew up in the 80s. If you grew up in the 90s, you don't fucking even know who Superman is, right? So
Junkbox says the original Willow had an amazing soundtrack. This series' music has been absolutely horrible.
James Horner, man, who passed away, and this would have been the time to, like, I don't know, man. It's just fucking, it sucks.
That's what's stupid is it's like all of the roadmap to what Willow music sounds like was right there, and as a true, have you tried Willow yet, or is that are you just like not even?
No, I've never seen the original, but like shows don't interest me. Like, I don't watch TV. The only shows I watch are the Disney Plus Star Wars stuff. That's it. Like,
That's it. Yeah.
I'm not even into films much anymore. Like, I would watch a lot of films because I was traveling a lot for like Battlefront 2, so I'd use the plane journeys to finally get round to watching the Marvel and DC films and fall asleep because they were boring and I hated them. But also COVID, not going to the cinema, like. I like going to the cinema, and now it's like I can't, like, the prices are so much more expensive and things like that. And I also just don't want to go. There's nothing that interests me really. Like, I've been waiting for Avatar for years. It's Avatar, Star Wars, Transformers. That's it for me. I'm happy. I don't care for much else. That's it.
Yeah,
I just want to play my games.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The well, if you ever want something Star Wars feeling, I think Willow feels like a Star Wars film, but boy, that series, it hurts me. It hurts me deep inside.
To be fair, George, why don't you tell him what you originally were going to call Willow? This is a true story. Go ahead, George. You tell him.
Okay.
I'm not proud of it, Jason, but it was called Munchkins.
Oh no.
That was the original script I wrote. Yeah.
Yeah.
They called it Munchkins. Yeah.
Yeah, I think your Willow's original name was Munchkin Skywalker. Munchkin.
That's a true story, man. The actual script was called Munchkins.
Yeah.
It was called a better name for it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was.
And I didn't know this, but they also said that the original script was written by the WKRP in Cincinnati guy. He wrote like one episode of WKRP, and they're like, "How does that work out?" And they're like, "Well, he had done some
Bob Dolman."
Yeah,
whatever.
He was a WKRP in Cincinnati guy. He did some touch up on a script, one of those Belushi films. I can't remember the name of that Spielberg was involved in. And he had somehow said, that guy's good, George. You hire him. And he's like, all right. And they guess maybe, like, forget, you hire your friends thing. Maybe it was just that George like fast writing and collaboration. And maybe the TV side of it kind of played into it,
Yeah.
with the way he works. But sometimes George Lucas is like, I just hire my buds. I don't care.
So check it out, dude. He did WKRP in Cincinnati. He did 39 episodes of SCTV.
Thing SCTV, which I was super impressed with, because I'm like, I watch SCTV every Friday night with I have orange juice that I carbonate, and I put a little shot of vodka. This carbonated screwdriver, and I watch SCTV. I know that's true. That's my fucking Friday night. Now I know you're 79 hours into Fortnite season. Who gives a fuck? But
I don't like Fortnite, so it's fine.
He did like 60 episodes almost of SCTV. He did
the bulk of the series, dude.
Right? Cowboy Joe, Poison. Then he did Willow. Then he did Far and Away. The Banger Sisters, How to Eat Fried Worms. And then Willow, the TV series, 2 episodes. He's going to be credited on 2 episodes of the Willow TV series.
Yeah.
And
so people say, Rob, Solo's a good movie. I'm like, yeah, but it's not a Solo movie. It's just a cool Star Wars bit. It could have been called any fucking thing else, and it would have could have been called Infiz Nest, and it would have made as much sense as it just. I'm sorry, I don't. And the way he got his name Solo, that's fucking dumb. Let's just be honest. It was the worst part of the movie. Stupid.
yeah, well,
I don't like it.
Willow is the scripts aren't good.
So I'm piling on, Jason.
I'm piling on.
I see a wounded animal. I'm piling on.
Well, maybe just hear me out though. Maybe he was like, I want to be like my dad, right? And maybe there's a story we don't know.
I'm gonna make Dreamcatcher and put a Wahlberg in, pretend he's a mentally handicapped child. That's smart.
Maybe like Raiders of the Lost Ark. The credits open up and Agata Devita plays. And Lucas is like, okay, I'm gonna delete that. Okay. And then he's like, they enter the Well of Souls, and then Don't Fear the Reaper starts playing when the snakes show up. He's like, okay, I'm gonna delete that, and then you end up with like a really good movie.
Well, true story, Jason. And for Crusade, we wanted to have a scene with the Blitzkrieg, and we're gonna put on the Blitz.
Right, but the Blitzkrieg Bop is going to play.
Yeah,
which almost plays in Willow. There's actually a moment where I think that's what they wanted to play, and they couldn't get the song because it's like the same tempo, I think. But anyways,
well, we could get the Corey Feldman version if you saw that movie.
All right, George, we got Acid True here. We should probably ask him one more thing at least before we go about the video game, because he does contain.
What do you think about video
all
games?
The time. What do you think about video games? Are they good?
They're not bad.
Hey, that's true. Are video games cool? No.
Does Al Pacino watch you play video games? Was that who he was talking about? Jason didn't watch the Game Awards. I'm assuming. You would be laughing his ass. Oh, okay, yeah, but you have to see it, Jason.
It
came after. Look, first off, we're going to talk about this later, but I don't know who the voice actor is from Kratos. All I know is I got up, used the latrine, made a coffee, let my dog outside to go to the bathroom. I'm not even exaggerating, picked up my headset, called my friend, went upstairs, sat down. He's still talking. Like, I've never seen a speech in my life at any Oscars, MTV Awards, Razzies, the fucking Golden Globes, the Slammies, Jason, the Slammies. Like, I've never seen the fucking World Wrestling Federation give a speech like that.
I didn't see it. The lady who plays the Armorer was a little like that at D23 this year during the Lucasfilm presentation.
Yeah, I heard that.
But she was, she's lovely though, so it was okay. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was a little bit like, they even made jokes about it. But so this is the I think I heard this is like a $300 set.
That is crazy.
Oh, that's responsible.
But here's the important part.
So there's only like 6,000 of them. It's just the Disney Parks lightsaber as well.
Disney Parks lightsaber, and in
they
case you're wondering,
left over.
It has a certificate of authenticity because we know that this shit's getting faked left and right. People are gonna be like, "Hey, that looks real, but is it? Can you? Did you really beat
not
the
for
game?
Nothing? It looks like they typed in the Midjourney.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
I mean, you got it in this country. How'd you get it?
I went to Disneyland this summer, and
baller.
Yeah. Well,
hold on, Jason. He goes, I'm afraid of going into movie theaters to see the Marvel films because I'm going to get COVID. But I went to Disneyland last summer and got this lightsaber.
He did that saber. He got vaccinated. He's good.
Sorry, man. It's hilarious.
Basically, the only difference is that the end.
Can you put the end up to the camera? I want to see the end.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh wow, yeah, that does look kind of cool. Yeah, that's cool.
So basically, all they've done is change. Like you can put you can buy like 2 of them and put them together for the double bladed one. But all they've done is put like a repaired hilt because that's what it is in the new game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it's not overpriced when you consider the game because you get the deluxe edition, you get the lightsaber, but when you add shipping, like if you're outside America, it's too much. But also, people don't go to Disneyland, so you can't get them outside of Disney.
Do you have a certificate of authenticity? Because I'm just saying it might be fake, and you can't prove that it's real.
That looks as if Asatru had typed in "create a Jedi Survivor certificate of authenticity" into Midjourney, and it just spat out something. They just pasted it in there.
Yeah, but so this one right here says out of 8,500.
It does, but I added it up. There's 4,000 of the PS5 version, 1,500 of the Xbox version, and 1,000 of the PC versions. Also, the Steelbook. No one's talking about this, but this Steelbook shows us the core ship and the planet that's breaking up.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Literally, no one's talking about it. I'm like, that's what that planet is really close and it's doing something. There's TIE fighters, there's the core ship. Like, what's going on here? But
I mean, Kathleen Kennedy is just doing Star Wars so bad that the planet's breaking up now. They can't even keep the planets together. You know? I mean, that's where
that
we're
planet's
at.
called Rejuan.
Oh, shit.
What?
This planet's called Willow. Willowton. No, but
it's called Munchkin. Let's be fair.
I want this art. I want to see this art like in super high res.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it probably will be released because usually all the Steelbook art ends up making its way. It's just not been posted anywhere at the moment.
So the is that the Trade Federation ship over on the left?
Yeah.
So then his Trade Federation ship, that's not a prequel era one. So that might be like the ancient. That might be like an older. Is that implying it's an older version?
Well, all the droids are from the prequel era. Like we've got Magna Guards and BX Commando droids, which came later in the Clone Wars. So I don't know. It doesn't make much sense. And they're all painted. They've got a bit of red, a bit of like cream and grey. So they've all got like the same branding. So yeah, because all the Black Series figures have had that. That's why I was like trying to figure out what's this faction. But obviously they're now controlled by this guy.
Could the Trade Federation could have been around for hundreds of years, and like, is there?
We see it in the Star Wars Eclipse trailer.
Yeah,
we see Trade Federation.
We do. That's right. I knew.
Bless your heart.
Yeah,
like that counts, but okay.
Well, no, but it does say
Lucasfilm would have been like, that's something in that time frame. Yeah.
Well, no, but that would be our confirmation then that this is probably his old shit. Maybe
it's
he's had.
I mean, possibly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I dare them to bring back Nemodians and do that for 40 hours. You know.
That'd be great, dude.
People want them. People like them. So.
People love racial stereotypes on the internet. As it's true, don't believe everything.
Twitter needs this. Okay, Twitter needs this.
Yeah. Elmo's happy.
Now there are two of them. Canceled. Yeah. So there's the PS5 version. There's my version right here. This is. You play on PC, as it true?
Yeah, I play Xbox and PC.
Xbox, yeah. I'm gonna play on Xbox because Xbox is the best console that there is. That's what I heard.
It's not true.
It's better than what.
Also,
Rob
that
has,
box
especially.
is the same one from the teaser trailer that the senator who takes Cal's lightsaber has.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
That's in the very first trailer.
I thought that was a Series S for a second there. They branded a Series S.
That would be a good like sticker. That'd be like a good sticker set to make for it. You know, those like knockoffs on Amazon that they have.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is the case that the stormtroopers carry and delivers Cal's lightsaber to the senator. See, there again, that guy was in the teaser trailer, wasn't in this one. So there's like a whole section of the story like missing. So I don't know why like people are worried about like no Merrin and Grease. Like there's a guy that they showed who's speaking in the first trailer who takes Cal's lightsaber, and this is completely not even in this gameplay trailer. So I think at some point Cal definitely loses like one half of his lightsabers, and that's why he goes back to Coruscant, because he's in Coruscant in the trailer by the looks of it. So
well, and that would mean you don't have a lightsaber, you have to use a gun. Introduces the gun gameplay, and then you don't have your lightsaber.
You're also on Coruscant. You can't be just using a lightsaber. Like you're in literally the worst possible place to be as a Jedi. So
no, you just hide it under a coat.
Oh yeah,
it works.
Aria wants me
Thanks,
to know
Jody Harry.
that Xbox has big balls. Okay. Okay, Aria. Um, yeah, but that is super expensive for this set. I honestly think I don't know if I need it, so I might wait and see if the fact that they might made would you say 6,500 of them is the
Yeah,
is the estimation?
if I didn't have, if I, because I really wanted to go to Disney because we bought the tickets like the end of 2019 because I'd just come from a Fallen Order event there, and
Yeah,
we was decided what to do for the 2020 summer holiday. I was like, oh, let's go back to LA and I'll take you to Disneyland because my dad and my brother hadn't been. And
right,
we booked, and then obviously COVID happened, so it got pushed back until this year. And I was glad because they announced this was like a fan vote to get Cal's lightsaber at Disney,
right.
um, and it was meant
I
to
remember
come in
that.
like 2020, then 2021, then it finally came early 2022. So I was like, great, I can go to Disney and buy it. So I did. But I was really like wondering, maybe do I not buy it and they'll do one for Jedi Survivor, like a collector's edition. But then I was also told the Lucasfilm reasons why they can't do collector's editions. This is the first time they've done it. This because I remember the BS reason is because they have partners doing collectibles and stuff. They don't want EA say releasing like an Inferno Squad helmet for Battlefront 2. That was the whole thing. They wanted to do something like that. If you bought Battlefront 2, you got the Inferno Squad helmet, but Hasbro and whatever would be like, well, we could make that. They still haven't. But that was their whole thing. Like EA weren't allowed to produce anything. Like EA's not even doing this. It's like a third party that they're working with to do it, and it's
Okay.
only 6,500, which is stupid because
Yeah.
everyone's like complaining, like I want because there's only two Disneylands in America that sell this lightsaber. Most people can't get over there, and also
There's
the
only
shipping
2
is like 100.
Disneylands in America, though. Like,
Oh, as in like that sell this. Like you can't go to
okay, in the
Disneyland Paris
world.
and buy this.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay, I
So you
just, I
can't
just
just
wanted to make sure
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
It's like there's another
Um,
Disneyland, like Jason. We could.
No.
Would they only let you streamers go to the cool Disneyland with no fucking people in it? Is that it?
oh, that there was like 20 of us content creators, Cameron, Jeff Keatley, who did the Game Awards, Vince Sampella, like some of the Respawn developers, and then like a few other people,
Bill
like some
Clinton.
journalists. And that
Uh-huh.
was all of Disneyland. We was just in the cantina, and I was like, yeah, I don't drink, so I'm going now. Like I was only there for like half an hour. I was like, this is a bit naff. It was like,
Yeah.
it was cool that it was dark though, because it was empty. Like, I was just walking around on my own, just like taking pictures. There was just like a few people like, oh, where are you going? I was like, oh, I'm leaving now.
I
It
I,
You
I
should
had a
brag about that to Harloff.
I had a similar experience like that when Galaxy's Edge was opening up because like I was just like there on like the press day, like my time that I went, there was just like this in between moment when there was just nobody there, and I'm just like there, it's like empty. It was strange, and I think back on it, it's like super weird, especially when I would go back after that, it would
Yeah,
be pretty
yeah, when it
packed.
was like it was literally just pitch black and silent, walking through Batu was much better than like the full Disney part. But
Right.
because we went to Disneyland, it just opened, and it was EA Play, and a few months before, it was when you could like the time slots for when Galaxy's Edge opened, you could like put like an order in. Well, I did
Yeah.
that, assuming EA would invite me, and then I found out like a week before EA Play we was going, so I had like 5 tickets. Well, everyone else, we was told Lucasfilm's inviting us all to go to Galaxy's Edge, but it just
Yeah.
opened like that week,
Right.
and we got there, and it was like, oh yeah, last minute Disney said no, and there was like just gonna allow like all of the EA YouTubers were there, so there was hundreds, but there was only gonna allow us Star Wars people, so there was like I don't know, 15 of us, and then some of the developers. Last
Right.
minute, when we got there, it was like, no, we're not letting anyone else in at capacity. But I had 5, so I got me and some of my content creator friends in, and then we made like the developers was like forcing like Disney like, no, let us in, like, and they finally let like a few of them in. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
really weird because we only had like it was like 3 hours, so we couldn't do anything. And then the second time round, we only had a few hours because we had to go and play Fallen Order. So that's why I didn't really get to experience like much other than, and I also wanted to do the Rise of Resistance, which I loved. I thought that was incredible.
Yeah, that's right. It's amazing. I miss that. I got to go on it maybe 5-6 times before COVID, and like I wish I had gone a bunch more times, but
Because I've waited 2 years, I was like, that's the first thing I've got to do. And
yeah.
within half an hour of waiting, it broke down.
Oh shit.
So the queue for the first time was like 2.5 hours, right at like from 8 till 11. And then at 7, I was like, I'm not just going on it once. I want to go on it again. So we queued up for like another 2.5 hours, but it was at dark and it was cool. And I'm glad I did it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like waiting in that queue, like when it's barely moving, and I was so tired.
Kid, you had a cell phone. You know what it was like to wait 6 hours for Splashdown in 1989?
True.
Oh,
I was just using my phone all the time. Like I was just like
I
trying
was
to kill
6
time.
hours for Splash Mountain, bro. 6
Dude,
fucking hours.
Being a kid, doing
the whole day.
doing the 3-hour Star Tours line, that was brutal. I remember those times.
Yeah, see, Star Tours is like so quick now. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just like, straight on. It was great.
We ran a Splash Mountain, and then at 9 a.m., 9:30 around there, didn't get on that shit till like 3 p.m. Like, it was fucking nuts, dude. I'll never forget it. It's the worst time ever. I went on one ride at Disney. I went on that, and then Haunted Mansion Pirates, and that's it. That's my day. That's 3 rides as a kid. It's the worst.
I shouldn't
experience
complain
ever had.
because when we went for the Fallen Order event, we got the VIP tickets, so we just had a guide, and there was like and was like, we don't really need, like, just let us go on the rides. We don't care about all Disney stuff. We just went to the Millennium Falcon and just kept going on that over and over again, so we could all be like a pilot and just kept doing that. And that's what we used up our like 3 hours for, because it was like we care more about Fallen Order, to be honest. Because
He's gonna make
like,
Jesse table flip something. He's gonna go, that was me. I was there that day. You were cutting it. Anytime Jesse goes in, you just jump right back in front of him. Nope, sorry.
So the collector's edition comes with a full-size functional Cal Kestis replica lightsaber hilt. The blades are sold separately. Oh man. Premium magnetic box that holds the lightsaber hilt. The certificate of authenticity. Yeah. The official steelbook. Physical copy of Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
There's no steel in Star Wars. It's
Right.
breaking canon. It should be a brick book.
Brick book.
Bricks are
Deluxe
canon.
brickbook.com. Deluxe edition on either Xbox Series XS or PS5. Also available on PC Digital. Man, it would be kind of nice if it came with like all of them, considering the price.
To be fair,
But
the Lego Star Wars saga should have come in a brick book, like a Lego seals on the edges. So it's like
right.
a brick book. That would have been very clever.
Yeah, don't try and corrupt our Azatrue. He ain't a drinker and he ain't gonna drink. That's the end of it. All right. Well, we did it, boys. I think we talked about. Did we leave anything else? Is there anything that I'm missing that I missed? That's
Cameron did a couple of interviews, to be fair, but
Yeah.
they asked him like really stupid questions, like who's do you really want Cal to meet up with, like cameos and stuff like that. He said Yaddle, and that was quite funny. He was like, "Oh, it'd be great if we could go like Cal and Yaddle together, do cool stuff." But he did sort of say there is some really exciting people. I can't say anything that we do meet in the game, so there's probably a big cameo in the game.
The fifth brother.
Oh God.
Well, real. I mean, if we want to go with like if the next one needs to be like more extreme and raise the stakes compared to the first one, we culminated with a big Darth Vader fight where Darth Vader kicks your ass, but you hold your own and you feel like a champion at the end because you lived against Rogue One style Darth Vader. So there has to be some equivalent to it. So it's clearly it's Palpatine. That's it. I solved it for you. Palpatine.
It's more like he just knows of Cal, and he's like, we need to send everything to hunt him down. But whether that is sort of how the game ends, like because it seems like it's going to be a trilogy, because how EA were talking about it was like they kept mentioning trilogy, like when Fallen Order came out. So it seems like that's the idea, that there's going to be a third game, and that's Cal's story pretty much done.
So do you? I mean, this is obviously just your as a fan. Obviously, do you think that character is going to link up with Vader and Palpatine and the Inquisitors? Do you think he'll basically become one of those things with them, or do you think he'll just stay like this rogue weird faction that's just out there being a little punk?
I think Cameron did reference like there's going to be some decisions where, because they said like Ciri's doing this really hard, like she's got the Jedi, she's trying to rebuild the Jedi Archives library or whatever, whereas he's sort of gone a bit rogue and he's like about killing people in the Empire, whereas she's like seems to be a bit more spiritual. So I think he's not he wants to be, he's light side, but he's also, it's a game, you're gonna kill people, so I think that's sort of that thing where he's like going down hunting people down, whereas like you know probably the Force or Ciri's like saying don't, this isn't the sort of way, we've got to stay and hide him.
Right.
Yeah, I heard it's Grievous. That's what I heard.
It's
in
back.
the tank. Yeah, it's Grievous, and then eventually, you know, he's gonna lose an arm, and then another arm, and he's gonna lose a little belly. He's gonna lose some ears, his little tummy, his little booty. He's gonna lose a leg. It's gonna be a heart at the end of it.
He's got his little toes.
It's gonna be,
There's gonna be some little toes. Filoni loves little toes.
yeah.
Then this goes into the Grievous show.
Yeah,
it does.
into the Grievous show.
That's
the
what
Tony Gilroy's Grievous.
No, it's Filoni's Grievous. You see.
It's actually called it's Tony Gilroy's Star Wars, The General. That's what it's called.
Funky Jenkins is Grievous.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging out with us today, Asitru, and talking about the game and all that stuff, and sharing your cool experiences. And when you get the collector's edition, let's do a side by side on the saber that you got from before in this one, because it's different, right?
Maybe.
It's going to have the side things, right? Does it have the side things? Does it have like the?
All it is it's just cut off. It's like,
okay.
That's it. I'm not gonna buy it. I saw it and I was like, oh, is it better than the one I have? And I was like, yeah, it's not worth it.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just keep this.
Yeah. I kind of like the broken one with like the wires.
It is. It's cool. Like it's this is why I wanted it. It's so much more unique than pretty much all the other lightsabers, because they had them all, all the ones they have, and it was good. It's got like a much bigger box, and
yeah. All right, everyone. Well, me and Rob are going to talk about Fallen Order on the Star Wars podcast in a little while, I think. Are you going to be able to make it today?
We'll see.
I guess not. Anyways, all right. Asitru, and
why are they doing this?
Off the show. Sorry, you guys don't get to hear it, but Bestman has a story for you guys if you guys want to hear it after the show. So we're gonna end the show, and then I'll tell you guys after. And thanks everyone for subscribing to the show and watching all of our stuff and all that jazz. I appreciate it. For all the channel members and the supporters, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But come and hang out with me and Rob at the Star Wars podcast. I think at 4:30 today. I think it is something like that. I can't remember now. And we'll see you then. Bye.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go.
It's not about spaceships.